no more carriage bolts, so don't get mad at us. We're not going to be using no more carriage bolts.
No more carriage bolts. Those days are behind us, but only bright days ahead with this tool right here.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to All's 3 Garage for another video. In the past videos, I think the past two, we were taking off these panels here, these lower cab panels, and we did the driver's side as well, because that driver's side was all messed up and might as well replace them both. And we were waiting for the huck gun to put those back on, but I think we might have said earlier earlier in the channel that we were going to replace this back panel back here because we want the one with the window and we still have to buy the window. But we bought the part, or this back panel here, so I'm going around trying to take off all these rivets. As you can see, I started on the outside grinding them off, and I'm like, you know what, might as well go on the inside and just grind the backside off and then just punch them out. It's a lot easier, at least the ones I can get to. But this panel must have been replaced. I don't know if it will show up on the camera here, but that's not a huck rivet. Those are like regular pop rivets, maybe. I don't really know. And then up top, all the ones up top there, can't really see it on the camera because of the light there, but all the ones up top are actually carriage bolts. So I got most of all of the ones I could get from the backside inside the bunk, and then I'm about to go and do the top one, screw off the nuts, pop those out. And then I have to grind off these because they're in like those aluminum channels that are the support channels in the bunk for the back of the bunk, I guess, back here and everything. So I have to go and actually just grind the front off like I did right here. But it doesn't matter if I'm scuffing up the panel right here because we're going to be replacing it, and that's going to probably go in the trash, or maybe, I mean, I didn't scuff it up that much, so maybe we'll keep it, do some body work to it if we need to put it on another truck. But let's get to it. Alright, so I'll get you guys a little look of what I was talking about. See up top here, these are all carriage bolts. And I think I just got to take this one off and then all the way across, and then same on the other side. But I'll give you a look what I was talking about the channel. See all these huck rivets in here are sitting in the channel, so I can't get the grinder wheel down in there or anything to grind them off from the backside. So I'll just have to take the sanding disc or grind whatever kind of disc I used already. I don't know what it's really called, but do that on the front for these ones, and then it should come out. Okay, I don't know why I'm using a ratchet. Should just use the impact gun. Let me go get that. We got a couple that are just spinning up here, so I'll have to wait till Ryan or Ethan or someone gets here so they can hold the backside and we can spin them out.
All right, so I figured it was about time we pull this back center section of the sleeper off. We got all the rivets ground down, and we just ordered a new piece from Truck Shrouds. So this new piece will be here in a few days, but we got to get it pulled off first.
Hey, majority of you guys watching aren't subscribers, so if you like what you see on this channel, hit that subscribe button, you'll see a lot more of it.
So we finally got that rear panel and the sleeper out. That took a little longer than expected. There's actually a lip on the top part that is part of the framing itself. So we didn't know that when we were grinding it out and stuff. We figured it'd just slide out, but of course, nothing is easy on these trucks. So it took us a little extra time. We ended up pulling it out through the sleeper itself and curling it up and throwing it out the side. But we got a brand new one ordered from Truck Shrouds. Also in from Truck Shrouds, like we talked about the cab panels that go here, we got brand new rear cab panels that accommodate for the Unibilt ring. And it also, all of these holes are pre-drilled, which is pretty cool. It's got your 3/16 magnet grips that go around the door. It's got your 1/4" magnet grips that hold the Unibilt brackets on the bottom and the top. So these are going to be cool to put on. We're going to have basically a brand new cab. And then also,
Yeah, so
we got something right here.
went and picked up this new cowl panel. I know we said in the last video or two that we weren't going to replace it, that we were just going to do some body work, some more fiberglass, but the more we looked at it and the other side that was hit, we think, or whatever, there's a lot of stress fractures, and all of the rivet holes on the other side broke off, even up here and everything. So, and then also this lip right here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it's kind of dark, but that's broke off, and the other side it's also broke too. So it would have been a ton of work, and we probably could have done it, but it's a lot easier just to replace it, I guess.
Put a new one on, and luckily the dealership had one in stock. It's kind of an oddball part, and we figured this was going to be on back order. But when I called them and they said they had it on stock, they cut us a great deal because it was sitting there for the longest time.
Yeah.
So we were able to take advantage of the great deal that they gave us and ended up with a brand new one.
Yeah.
But in doing so, we also purchased one of the most expensive tools I think we've ever bought. It's not just a tool, it's something that's going to help us with everything on these trucks as we're replacing all these panels. And we got our Gauge-Built huck gun. If you guys are ever in the market for a huck gun, this is kind of the setup to go with. It gives you a bunch of different head pieces, the 3/16 as well as the 1/4", which you're going to need to do all of these panel replacements, and any kind of structural rivet. That's what those two are. And it also comes with the 3/16 and 1/4" blind mount rivet heads. And also a really cool case, of course. Can't forget down here the American flag. Made in America. You get the bag where it pulls out the excess on the rivets, and then right here is the gun itself. This is a pretty cool tool. We've never really used one yet, so this is going to be our first time with it, and it's going to be cool because we'll be able to share it with you guys. And then also, here's what I was talking about with all the different heads. The traditional size is about right here, which is, a few inches, and in some areas that's going to be really tough to get into, especially down here in the bottom when we're doing it in the channel itself. But right here is the 6-inch 3/16 magnet grip head. And this is going to make it a lot easier when we're trying to get down into the channel itself to put the collar on the back of the bolt. So this is a really good one to have. I think we might order another one for the 1/4" head, especially when we're doing some of this stuff on the panel. But this thing literally comes like you're buying a brand new car with a whole bunch of paperwork. Really cool product. We ended up getting it out of a place called Yard Store in Kansas. So if you guys are watching our videos, hey, appreciate you guys sending this our way. This is going to be such a helpful tool in doing these trucks, not just this one, but all the ones that we end up doing.
Yeah. And no more carriage bolts, so don't get mad at us. We're not going to be using no more carriage bolts.
No more carriage bolts. Those days are behind us, but only bright days ahead with this tool right here. So let's go ahead and get this cowl panel ground out. We got brand new belt sander paper as well. Gotta love Amazon.
Yep, we ran out, and that's why it took us a little bit to get the back panel off, but now we got, what, 40 different belts?
Yeah, I think we got about 80 with both pairs now. So we're gonna come in, get this ground out, and then really we're just gonna be down to a shell of, what was a Peterbilt cab and rebuild it with fresh new parts. So this truck literally is gonna be a 30-year-old brand new truck.
Yeah.
So let's get this ground out. Dave and I were getting, trying to pop the window frame out from the cowl. Turn that off, it'll be a little easier. And in doing so, there's a bunch of factory glue that they used to fill this seam to protect against moisture. And we really don't want to take off this whole window frame, because in doing that, we got to pop off the roof cap, and it's just a bunch of work. So what we're opting to do is try to just peel back this slowly. We already got the driver's side pretty much out. And then we're just working our way back up to the center section. And hopefully this works. If not, you know, the only other option that we have is really to take this part, this off. But by doing that, you got to take this off. It's just a bunch of work. Trying to save a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Huh?
Finger cramp.
So we were able to get this whole thing loose. It's still really hot on this side, but you know, you got to be careful. You don't want to warp the metal too much, but then again, it is all getting pulled back together with the rivets. But we'll get all this off. We had to clean up all the sealant from around the windshield too, and then also clean up down there before we put the new piece on.
Now we have to, it's the same thing. I'm pretty sure they use the same kind of glue to glue this cowl piece onto the firewall up here. So we got to do the same thing to the firewall, and then hopefully it should come off.
We can hope.
There we go.
Saw that from the backside here.
Yep. And she's off there.
You still recording? Holy crap, it falls down, huh? Look at that. Oh.
How can we pull it out? You gotta get that side to connect it down.
We gotta kind of. No, that's before we do anything, let's just heat it up again.
Alright.
A little more.
Can't get my sticks there.
Two sticks. I thought we were gonna have to pull out that whole window panel, man, for a second.
I know you wanted to.
I think it's just this corner here. I'll take her off there.
Where are we still sticking? Oh!
Pull her out.
Maybe. Go ahead here, you pull it.
Well, we're minus a cowl, but now we gotta figure out how to get it out.
Look at that. Man, this thing weighs more than the after.
Yeah, that one's all fiberglass.
Here you go. You guys can see all the glue. It's not that much, but I mean enough to hold it in there for a while.
Well, you want that in there too to help protect against moisture, so. Did its job. Truck had no leaks up here that we knew of.
And then the bottom side.
It all glued up against the firewall there.
It's
Just like a stream. It's like a little thing.
it's like a 3M tape, kind of, it looks like.
I know it's probably just against this for
30
so
years.
long it doesn't want to.
Well, you can see it, yeah. Up on the
I wonder why they put those up.
I think that's where they tried to maybe pry it up before.
Yeah, so we'll bend those back.
Yeah.
You don't think it can't? What did the other Peterbilts? They don't have those in the firewall, do they?
I've never taken a truck apart this much before, so
No.
I really don't know, to be all honest.
It's
with
almost like they're there. It's either someone bent them like that, or they're there on purpose.
you. I don't know. How about
in
you
case
guys tell
need
us?
Yeah.
You guys ever seen if your firewall looks like this?
I mean, I doubt it would be bent on purpose, but
Who knows, honestly. Well, we'll fix it. We'll make sure it's right before we put it back together. Look at that. Cool.
Sweet.
Oh, and by the way, we are keeping this panel. We are going to fix it and put it on the shelf after we fix it and it's all repaired. Put a coat of primer on it so that way if any other truck needs one in our fleet, we got one that we can use. So we're going to repurpose it anyways. So I bet if you ask anybody that knew us, they would all say that each one of us are kind of chatty Cathys in our own way. So I know we do talk a lot in these videos, but we've never seen anybody kind of attempt to do what we're doing with this truck. As far as, you know, there's a lot of shops that do reskinning of the panels, but as far as the cowl removal itself, that was something that we researched the internet, we researched YouTube, we did a ton of hours just researching how we would go about doing it, and we couldn't find anything. So we just said, heck, we'll just tackle it and we'll just do it a little bit at a time and figure it out as we go. So what we really did with this cowl panel specifically is that we ended up grinding out the 2 rivets that go right here, one that has that rib curb right there, and then the one above that, so that way it flexes a little bit. And we ended up doing all the rivets down the window, and then the same on the other side. And then you also have to do all the rivets that are tucked up in the cowl panel right here, the firewall panel that meet up with the cowl. And also there's a bunch of this glue that we mentioned in the, you know, previously in the video that we would recommend heating up. We just took the heat gun and heated the back side of the firewall up, and then also heated this top of the window trim right here up. And that was enough to basically just pry it off, and it kind of popped. So I'm sure there's other ways, but we wanted to save that piece, and you know, we could have just took a grinder to it. That's a pretty expensive piece, and you know, we're gonna try to repair it and put it back together and put it on the shelves. So that's how we did this. If you guys have ever done it, please let us know how you did it. We'd be happy to learn about, you know, your way of doing it as well, and see if there was an easier way. Yeah. Now that it's already done. All right, guys, that is gonna be a wrap on this video. You can see we made a lot of progress with this cab. Hopefully we can get that new panel laid on here. I think we're gonna probably start sanding this thing down. First, we gotta pull the sleeper off because we gotta do some work because we are doing the full color change on this thing. So it's gonna be a heck of a lot easier pulling that sleeper off, and also maybe possibly putting these panels on here that we got from Truck Shrouds. But we'll see what we'll end up doing with this one. But definitely a lot of progress made in this video. You know, this truck has come a long way from when it first rolled into our shop, and you know, although we're taking our time and doing everything slowly, we're also trying to weigh the option on each one of these old parts that is it worth repairing, or can we justify the price that we spend on something new like this cowl panel. But we are going to save that piece and definitely add it to our stockpile just to have as a spare one. We'll repair that off the truck here. But we appreciate all you guys watching, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. That really helps grow this channel and really gets people involved in these trucks and these builds. It's such a crucial part of our economy, these trucks, and we would love to do nothing more than to help grow with the trucking community. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing, and I guess we'll catch you guys all in the next one. And remember, keep them wheels rolling.